Yes, people, and welcome back to another video on the Bridge YouTube channel where we bring you all things Chelsea. I'm your host, the most of Bridge 258, here to give you the latest Chelsea transfer roundup and some other news included about the club. Here we go. So I'll start with the first one, which is that Chelsea have got themselves a sleeve sponsor for the rest of the season, and then they will be on the Chelsea training kit. So you know, like how Trivago has been usually on it, that's what they'll be on, and their name is Bing X. It's a cryptocurrency exchange, from what we know. So similarly to FTX and Binance. I don't know if this one's going to be giving a lot of money. I don't know how liquid this guy is. Hopefully, they're not like one of those, man. But, you know what I'm saying? We move in it. Hopefully, they don't go bankrupt on us like the way they did with the Miami Heat stadium name. So, hey, man, let's hope that don't happen to us, man. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the news there. At the end of the day, if it is going to be profitable for us and going to give us the same, if not a bit more than Trivago, I don't mind. At the end of the day, like, no one's using crypto exchange anyway, so like, it's not really a big deal anymore, is it? So I'll be honest on that one still. So I don't mind that one at all. Now let's move on to the next one, which is on my guy Ian Maatsen. So according to Matt Law, Borussia Dortmund is confident that they're going to be able to get Ian Maatsen in the January transfer window. Initially, BVB were looking to get a loan deal for him for the rest of the season. But Chelsea wanted to sell him out outright. So what I probably think will happen is that similarly to Lewis Hall, where it will be, I think, a loan with obligation to buy. Now, apparently, the rumor, what's going on from Matt Law is that if that happen, if because this is looking likely to take place, the club will now look for a left back to compete with Chilwell. Now, for me, this brings up a big question for me personally, which I'm going to continue on with just in a bit, but they apparently are now will be actively looking for a left back now. So obviously alongside the centre back which we're looking for, and now we're going to be looking for a left back in this window. Now, going back to the point I was making about the left back situation, I just don't understand why don't we keep Maatsen. For me, again, I said this before, as a left back, he's one of the best up and coming ones. We have him here already. We just need to, again, I understand maybe contract negotiations aren't going well, but they're not going well when you're playing him left wing and right wing. When Potts playing left wing, right wing, play him in his place. When you're playing Levi Cole left back, of course, it's not looking good. And for me, what makes this worse here is I know, especially with these players, whenever they go to the in-between club before the top club, such as a BVB, maybe you could make the argument, and Ajax is a good example of this. Brighton's another one that's come up as of recently. Southampton in the previous era, where they go up and improve, and then what happens? They go away for big money. And like right now, we have the opportunity to be playing Maatsen week in week out as a proper left back. For me, he's ahead of Chilwell and ahead of Kukurea. But clearly, that's not what the club wants. And for me, that's very disappointing. Very disappointing because I really think he will become one of the best left backs in football. In my opinion, that's the potential that he can potentially reach again. See, I always say potential that he can potentially reach, but I feel like he can do that. But we've not even tested him there once. We've only played left wing back one time, and that was in a loss. So it's rather unfair to him. But I understand back the manager, but come on, bro. Maatsen for me is going to be a major loss for me, in my opinion. Very major loss. So it is the way it is, but he's probably going to go. I think what will probably happen, he will get a loan of obligation of something like around about 30 million for him to BVB. I can see that happening. That's usually what the likely scenario of a lot of that stuff is at the end of the day. So it is what it is. So if that happens, man, listen, I wish Maatsen nothing but the best. I know he's gonna come good, bro. When he's kicking at BVB, I shall not speak. But maybe Chelsea can put in something that they did with Gahi, where they put in a buyback clause or a first refusal or thing, which I think would be really great if you're Chelsea, such that because this guy has a lot of potential, can become one of the best. Why do you put in something in the contract where he can be right of first refusal? So if BVB in the next year or two get an offer similar to what happened with with what Margay has, you can do that thing. Even Livramento is another one that they did that with, where you can have that thing where do you want to match that offer and take him or not? And that's what you can do. So we will see what happens at the end of the day. But that for me is the perfect scenario if you're a Chelsea Football Club to be able to do. But hey, that's just me, in my opinion. Now, let's move on to the next topic, and that will be a quick one on Alex Matos. So Alex Matos is set to go on loan, and I believe it's to Huddersfield Town, if I'm not mistaken. So again, we wish him nothing but the best. Again, hopefully he has a good loan. Obviously he's been on the bench for us as a potential backup. Never been used really, but again, he's from the academy. Hopefully, he does well, man. That's all I can say, man. Wish him nothing but the best. Now, let's move on to the next topic, which is on the CB stuff. Now, not CB, sorry, which is on, excuse me, Conor Gallagher. Now, in regards to Conor Gallagher, apparently there's now reports now that are saying that Conor Gallagher is more than likely to stay at Chelsea, and I am Rahman Osman, if I'm not mistaken, has also reported that Gallagher is going to be staying in January. And last night there were reports about Chelsea and Gallagher maybe starting to have a new contract talks, and Pochettino trying to back it, and then they're trying to get him to stay. But and like how he's trying to make shed light on how important Gallagher is for the team, etc., etc. The problem for me, yeah, is that with Gallagher, again, you guys know my thoughts. I'm someone that's very high on Gallagher at the end of the day. Like I think for me, at Gallagher's peak, when he's at his best, he's a guy that you bring on the pitch to do a job for you. The problem right now that we're having here in the squad is that Gallagher's almost like the linchpin to the whole squad. That's the way Pochettino is using him, which is a problem for me when you've got the guy that's next to him in Caicedo, whose role that Gallagher's playing. Reality speaking, we bought Caicedo for 1.5 mil to be playing the role of Gallagher. And he's not even able to do that because the Pochettino is forcing in Gallagher to be his linchpin. The other problem is also you're now forcing Enzo to be a cam who's playing somewhere under the playing like as an LCAM, which is also not helping another guy that you brought for £106 million. So you brought a lot of these guys, but Gallagher's clearly impeding the way for them. And I don't know if this is something where the director needs to speak of Pochettino and be like, listen, at the end of the day, this is tactically not working for two other players, but it's working for one player. And we should not be accommodating 220 million for Gallagher. It's not right for me at the end of the day. And so for me, I personally have said this before. If you get an offer for 50 million for him, you snap your hand off him. You tell him time to go, bro. Respectfully, we need to let you go. But again, he's a good bench piece to have. But we need to start making sure that Caicedo can play in his role and putting Enzo in the other role in which Caicedo is playing, and then that will work as a team. The problem is right now, guys. Chukwuemeka's back now. Chukwuemeka's back. And now we got Nkuku back. We got obviously Broha's here. Madueke is now playing often. Mudryk, Sterling. Someone needs to play that 10 role. That's not going to be, was it called Enzo? So you need to eventually, Gallagher has to be dropped to me. Eventually, you're going to have to drop him. But the problem is, the way that he's being played is almost like he's a linchpin to us, which is a bigger problem. And that for me, I don't understand why that's the case. But it is what it is at the end of the day. And we'll see what happens. But I don't like this idea. I do not like this idea at all. Now, guys, I want to continue on the CB situation because there was a rumor that came out today saying that Chelsea are active in negotiation for the Benfica centre back Silva. And from what I've been hearing from some of the Chelsea guys and the main accounts on Twitter and stuff like that, apparently that doesn't seem to be as legit as people making out to be. Now, I don't believe that's probably going to be the case. In my opinion, it seems that it's going to be between either Diomande or Todibo, and whoever you get between those two. Again, I don't mind having either. For me, Diomande, quality player. Todibo, quality player. Whoever you get, I'm happy either way. So we'll see what happens there at the end of the day. So, but the thing for me is probably, if you're Chelsea and you're close to getting a minority stake, it's important. Diomande probably is going to be the one where, you could probably get him for a better deal at the end of the day. As he's also, and he's also going to be, the club, Swan is obviously going to be a part of the Chelsea future too. So, we'll see what happens there at the end of the day. Now, I want to finally end this off in a Chelsea striker situation. Obviously, as you guys know, and you've been watching, I don't think anyway Osimhen or Tony is probably going to be happening at all. But there's been rumours about Jimenez, Guirassi, there was another guy that Sesko as well. Now, for me, I've said this before, my hot take, is that probably either Sesko is going to happen, or if the Inter Milan situation is as bad as people are making it out to be, then the club might swoop in for Lautaro Martinez on a discount price. Now, for me personally, I think Sesko is probably going to happen. Now, whether or not the price is going to happen at, it's a different thing entirely, because obviously he's not playing for RB Leipzig, Openda's the striker there, who's and Javi Chivers is behind him. So again, I don't really see what's happening. I don't really see him having a spot there. And plus, the club have actively looking at Sesko. So you never know. Maybe he's the one that the club go in at an attack to bring in. So at the end of the day, we'll see what happens there too. But again, transfer news is kind of hotting up now. A lot of stuff is coming out. We'll see, whether or not a lot of the stuff that we're seeing is gonna, lead to anything good. But hey ho, man, we move. But that's the video, guys. As always, please make sure to continue to like, share, subscribe. Hey, and road to 2K. Peace.